Good morning. Just the Rav Shlita, just Kol HaKadosh Hazeh. So we had the Schia yesterday to hear from one of Lakewood's prominent Rabbanim, senior Rabbanim in Lakewood, to address us yesterday, and he touched upon the topic of, he spoke about the topic of the saying Tehillim, which of course we're in a tkufa of the need for much Tehillim for Klal Yisrael. And he wrote now with tefillah, so our tefillah should be answered. And this, he left a powerful message explaining what he called the twin Shir Hamalis, Shir Hamalis, Shir Lamalis. He touched upon the question, and we're going to talk about that in the Kudah today. What's the Shir Lamalis of this particular Shir Hamalis? And we're going to also come out a little bit that he suggested. Somebody asked me yesterday, so which Shir Hamalis are you going to say first? Because he suggested that maybe you should say Shir Hamalis first. So I said, I'm going to just say it the way it is, and we're going to come out today that really there's a reason that it's Shir Lamalis. You said first basis from Mahalach, we're going to from the Lutzker Rav. So Chutz Yagan Aleinu. Chutz Yagan Aleinu. So he and by this Chashav Rav, by the way, he slipped into the Kail as they so quietly, but it's a chutz for us to have him here in the Kail. So. Really, Rashi, there's a Rashi right here that mentions, it's in parentheses, I'm not sure what that means here, but it's a Rashi here that says that Apshat kishir la'malais, Apshat kishahayu alaviyim maschilin la'alais b'malais amru shir zeh, afal pisha zeh shir lo'nichta b'rishayna, ein muktam u'mo'ocher, which means he's saying that really you're supposed to say that one first, because that's the one that's going, we know that there are 15 shir hamalais, and there was 15 Keneged. The Mefarshim all suggest that that's because of Sheyomru Halavim Shir Hamalei Sheyomru Halavim Oisay Al Chamesh Esrei Malais Hayardos Me'ezes Yisrael Eretz Nashim V'Yesh Kan Tesvaz Bizmayim Shir Hamalei. There were 15 Malais that went from the 15 steps, went from Ezes Yisrael to the Ezras Nashim. So there are 15, but Agav, the Avedram says that when we dive in Shachros, we say V'yatziv V'nochem V'kayim V'yashar. There's also 15 adjectives we use describing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says those 15 V'yatziv V'nochem till V'yaf is also connected the Tesva of Mailes, connected the Tesva of Shir Hashirim that I said. But the question, the Lutzker Rav asks the following question. He says, if you look at the capital, it starts off Esa Einai Laharim. The person's talking about him, Esa Einai, with Noichach, not third party or third person. It says Esa Einai Laharim Me'ayin Yavi Ezri, Ezri Me'yem Hashem. But then it goes to what he would call Nister, Al Yitin Lamayt Raglecha, Al Yinam Shemrecha. Consistent would have been if it would say Al Yitin Lamayt Ragli, would have. And secondly, he also asks, why is this one Shir Lamalis as opposed to Shir Hamalis? Says the Lutzker Rav in the Day of Adiber, he says that really what it is, he says the Olam, he says the Welt is also represented, it has these Tesva of Milas. And a person is going Michayil HaKodesh, he's making an ascend from Chayil HaKodesh, which is our mission in this world, is to constantly go Michayil HaKodesh. So we want to go Michayil HaKodesh, and he says we come to that first step, and we ask ourselves, how do we're always questioning ourselves, how do we take, what's the approach, how do we go about this, am I ready? Mi Ya'aleh B'Har Hashem, he brings some Kapitel Chaf Dalet, Mi Ya'aleh B'Har Hashem, Umi Yakum B'Kaim Kadsha, can I do it, can I go up, Mi Ya'aleh, and if I do go, Mi Yakum, will I have to be able to sustain it? So he says the approach is, of course, he says, taking that first step. It's all about the first step. The first step, he says, that's me. I have to take the initiative. So he says, that's what it was saying. Esa Einai Laharim. I look up at the steps and I say, can I do it? Can I go? I look up at the mountains. Can I ascend this mountain? Looks very intimidating. But I have to say, the first thing I say is, Me'ayin Yavay Ezri. Ezri Me'im Hashem is after I take that first step, now I know that everything else, from there, I go to what we call Nister. Not about me anymore. Now, once I take the first step, you get there, right? So now, once I've taken that first step, now I can go and start talking things there in Nister, that now it's not about me anymore. Once I take the first step, now I could ask, I have a right to ask from HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the Siyata D'Shmaya. So he says that's the Shir La'amalos. Really, Rav Schwab addresses this question in relative to Ashrei. In Ashrei also, we go back and forth from, we call Noichach to Nister, we say but sometimes we say in Ashrei, Ashrei Yeshvei Veisecha, Malchuscha, Send Hashem L'chol HaNeiflim, Ashrei Yam Shekachalai. Sometimes we're saying Noichach, and sometimes we're saying Nister in the third person. And in Ashrei, Rav Schwab points out, he says that really in Ashrei it's pretty much balanced. Where we go back, like there's 21 psukim, like 11 or 10 of them are one way, 10 are the other way. So he says that's really because we approach tefillah, we approach it on the one hand, we want the kirva to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On the other hand, we have a trepidation, we have a year of fear to the kirva. So we have to get a balance between the kirva to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the trepidation to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he suggests, he writes v'derech, obviously v'derech drush, that's what shuckling is all about. Shuckling is I take a step forward, I go forward, and then I go back. Forward. Not that the Yekis would be a big shuckle is, but he suggests that's what shuckling is about. But I'll come on back to the Shir La'amalos. So we have the Lutzker Rav, who tells us that that's what Shir La'amalos is, where as we approach situations of we going Michael, which is our mission, we're going Michael al HaKodesh, we ask ourselves, how can I, so we say, Esa Enei Eloharim, V'ayin Yovei Ezri, now it's about me. Ultimately, after that, I can go to Nister, because anything beyond that is really up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we should really, another way to look at the Lutzker Rav, of course, that Shir La'amalos is first. That's the first step. That's me taking the first step. And that's why it would go before the others, and that's why it's Shir La'amalos. I'm talking to this step, I even so to speak, a dialogue with the malis, with the steps. I'm saying the first step I'm going to take, beyond that I'm asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Siyata D'Shmaya, Hashem should bench us. We should certainly take the step, the Tehillim that we say should be infused with the different, I'm sure we all hear different Torah about Tehillim now. We should infuse that into our Tehillim, and it should be, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be Makabel our Tefillas. We should be Zaycha to the Gula, Meir V'Yameinu, Amen.